Welcome back to the Church of Atheism podcast. This is going to be part two of three of questions atheists can't answer. If you listen to the first one, you realize how ridiculous episodes 2 and 3 are going to be. Yeah. I'm not even going to have a long intro for this one. Let's just get to the show. Let's get to the ridiculous questions that atheists quote unquote cannot answer, although we end up answering pretty much all of them. Spoiler alert. Anyway, let's go to the show. I know he's not involved in this conversation whatsoever, but Chris did it once.
Yeah.
Like, what? Wait,
I
what?
I can see if it's war. Like if I die, I'm taking
Oh,
everyone
yeah,
with me.
yeah.
That makes perfect sense. War is all I know.
True, true, true.
Of course that makes sense to me, but
All right, I kind of forgot about that, so
yeah.
my bad, my bad.
Yeah.
Well, I gave up on war when I realized after hearing that song, they were right. It's not good for anything
No.
except for like production.
Yeah, settling like territory disputes.
Yeah.
Uh,
But like inventing, for that matter. Like some of our greatest inventions have come from war. So
oh yeah. Yeah, it's great for it's actually great for like economic
yeah,
like improve like boosting your economy, creating jobs,
yep, yep.
territory disputes, land
Yeah, that song's
redistribution.
full of shit.
Yeah, actually, the more I think about it, war is extremely helpful.
I mean, I get what he's saying, but
Yeah,
absolutely nothing is a little bit strong when you kind of break it down.
yeah, absolutely nothing. I mean, come
We just named like 17 off the top of our head.
on. Yeah,
So yeah, last episode I didn't actually do the full list. I found 20, 40. Which another thing, 48 things this guy found. 48 questions he had for atheists. I thought 48 was a weird number just to land on,
I think so.
but that's just me. But yeah, so I did the first 20 solo, and god damn, I had a headache afterwards for like a couple hours. But
So yeah, you got 20 down, and you realized like, if I do this, I'm taking someone down with me.
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna wait
Basically,
until
yeah,
Chris is free. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. There's no way I was doing all 48 solo. Not a chance.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I wanted to make one more quick point. I wanted to go back to number one really quick before we got too far into it. Um, the question was if creationists can't do science, which always cracked me up too. Like, how do you
Oh,
not?
they use the phrase "do science" a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So the whole thing, the whole yeah,
I know. I'm just kind of coming in the middle of this, but yeah. If anybody else is too, this list is fucking batshit.
yeah. Maybe I should have warned them.
Yeah.
I don't think I really put together how bad shit it was until I only looked at a few questions and I was like, some of these are okay, and they're
There, yeah, there is one question that I actually think we'll probably get to. It is very good, but anyway, yeah.
yeah. And so once I started reading them like for the episode, I was like, oh god, these are fucking terrible. Yeah, number one was if creationists can't do science, then why do Kent Hovind and Dwayne D. Gish, who are creation scientists, have professional degrees in science? Professional caught me off guard too. In the first episode. Well, what's the difference between professional and just a regular degree?
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so I did a little research onto Kent Hovind or Havind, if you want to get like really French with it. Yeah, he doesn't have degrees in science. He has bachelor's degree in music, a master's in music and sacred music in religion, or in religious education. He he's a doctorate in Christian education. He doesn't have an actual science degree. So,
Oh,
right off the bat, you lied to me. So, fuck your quiz.
so he's not really doing science then.
No, no, no,
Is
no.
what you're saying.
He's talking science. He's not really doing science.
There's a
Okay.
difference.
Yeah. So yeah, now we can go to 21.
I talk science. I could talk science all day, but until I put that water in
Yeah.
those ice cube trays, I
You're
ain't
not
doing
doing
anything.
science. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude! Before we go, I watched an entire episode on YouTube last night of Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about it like last episode. It was like, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it tonight. This is happening. Yeah. Did you want to get to any of the first 20, or did you want to just take off?
I kind of when you said you did the first 20, I read some of those like a few days ago, but the last couple nights I kind of skipped it and started at 21.
Okay.
Those are fresh in my mind.
Okay. Cool. Then we'll skip that then, because yeah, I don't want to go back over them. So yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think you would.
No. I edited it, and that's the last time I'm ever gonna listen to that episode. So yeah, we'll just go to 21. All right, so number 21. Again, these are 48, not 50, but 48 questions atheists can't answer. So let's get to number 21 and answer it. Did you know that dinosaurs and man lived together?
That's also not a question.
No.
So yeah, they're half right in that I can't answer something that's not a question. So yes, they are correct. Sort of, almost. Because that's not a question. They're also correct because there was this guy in the 90s. His name was Albert Hammond, and he was a wealthy, I believe, self-made businessman who I don't know how he acquired it, honestly, but there was an island off the coast of Costa Rica, and he invited Jeff Goldblum and Sam Neill there, and it was in this, like, it wasn't a document, it was like a docudrama, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, according to that, and I believe it, yes, dinosaurs and man did live side by side together.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, they got a good point there.
Yeah, they got a good point. Also, they're wrong because that's not a question. So.
Right.
0 for 21, I guess.
Yeah. I just had the whole Flintstone theory documentary.
Oh shit.
Never gets old.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we had appliances, we had dinosaurs.
Yeah. They will. You just throw your plates at them and they'd clean them for you.
They served man.
Yep. Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question to the author if he happens to be listening. Which dinosaurs? Because there was 3 different actual times of dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Which one did we live with then?
Yeah. And also, if you really want to like get technical, there's plenty of animals that have changed almost very little in the last several million years, like alligators and crocodiles and shit.
Right.
There's a lot of there's a lot of animals that are technically kind of still dinosaurs.
Yep.
So.
Sorry, pal.
Yeah.
So number 22. Oh God. If evolution is real, then why do caring people like Rick Santorum argue that it must be challenged in the classroom? Rick Santorum's the example you want to live by, apparently.
Yeah.
you know, let me just say, let's just pretend that Santorum is a good guy. Let's pretend he gives a shit about people.
Yeah.
Um, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. That doesn't mean there's a god
No.
or that evolution isn't real. Like you could be the nicest person on the planet, you know, and still be a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what this question has to do with anything.
No, that I, I see what they're doing. They're stumping atheists and stuff by answering questions that have no answers because they don't make any sense.
Which is a pretty interesting strategy.
That is a very good strategy. I do admire them for that. Also, I want to meet whoever wrote that question because their moral compass is weird.
Who do you have as your poster child for caring person? Rick Santorum, obviously.
Yeah. Like, how come caring people like Martin Luther? No.
No.
How come caring people like the Dalai? No.
No,
How come
no.
caring like Rick Santorum?
Yeah. I like that one. He's our man. Yeah, but you know what? This was probably written before he's appeared as a guest on CNN multiple times, so maybe they don't like him anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I don't think I can muster up anything else for that one.
No, yeah.
I think we've used Rick enough.
Yeah.
This is number 23, by the way. Why are YouTube atheists like Aaron Ra and Thunderfoot afraid to debate Ray Comfort? Oh yeah, since you weren't here for the first one, do you know who Ray Comfort is?
No.
Hey, there is I'm gonna post it with the on the webpage. There's a YouTube video of him and I think it's Kirk Cameron.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you know where this is going already.
Yeah. I got an idea.
Yeah. So he's got a banana, not Ray Comfort. And he's just like, this is proof that God made this. Notice the curves around. And notice how like there's ridges that fit perfectly in your hands.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
One of my friends showed me that a while ago. Yeah. Okay, I have seen that.
Yeah, so
I went on a big Kirk Cameron thing like for a week and watched a lot of Kirk Cameron videos but yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. I wasn't aware that these people were afraid to debate Ray Comfort. Also, that question was already asked in the first 20, but it was Richard Dawkins, and so why don't you just add it there?
Yeah. And if you ask, and by atheists, what they mean a lot of the times is like scientists, really. And a lot of the time, I mean, really what it comes down to is like these creationist people are just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Why, like, what it really is a matter of why even give them a platform? Why give them the time of day? Why acknowledge them? Why not just, like, it would essentially be the same thing as just, like, when you see a crazy homeless guy on the street corner standing on a box talking about the apocalypse. Like, there's real, like, I mean, really, at the end,
I'm not going to challenge that guy to a debate.
Yeah, why challenge these lunatics? It really is the same thing.
Yeah, that's pretty close to saying the same thing I did. The first one about why won't Richard Dawkins, like, I don't think it's worth his time.
Yeah.
Like, he's done a million debates with other people, and I'm sure this guy with the banana isn't going to be the one to be like, I must have this debate. Like I don't think
Yeah.
that's the guy Richard Dawkins is like been out for forever.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray wants to debate me, the arch nemesis. Of course.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty good answer.
Yeah. um. Oh, this is another good one. A lot of these are like they're almost doubled, just worded differently. Why do we celebrate Christmas if Christianity is not real?
That's hilarious because that's so fucking funny. Christianity is very real because actually, um, when I was driving home from work, I drove by a Lutheran church that existed.
Yeah.
So Christianity exists.
That's literally the first line I put too in my notes. Like, no, Christianity is in fact real. The religion does exist.
Hmm.
Maybe based on a fake god, but religion is real.
And we covered this about a year ago. Christmas is fun, so
That's right. We did cover this one.
you don't have to believe in anything.
No.
Christmas. Yeah, I like eating Christmas food. I like lights and trees and snow and shit.
Yep.
So
Families together, everyone's getting presents and wasted at the same
yeah,
time. Can't beat it.
yeah, exactly.
Well, this goes back to a question he asked earlier, and my answer was basically like I found both of them to be really poorly thought out too. Like, um, how do I put this? Oh, this guy wouldn't use the same argument like for an Islamist, you know. Well, if Allah isn't real, then why do they celebrate Ramadan?
Yeah,
Like it doesn't help when you flip it, it doesn't help the argument
yeah,
because
yeah.
that Ramadan exists too, but you don't believe in Allah.
Right, yeah,
So like
yeah,
your
yeah.
argument for your religion doesn't help any else's.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope they cut out the right way. That's hard to say. It's hard to word.
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just like yeah, it doesn't prove another one doesn't exist. Anyway, yeah. Here we go. Number 25. This is another do science ones. If creationists can't do science, then why does the website Answers in Genesis have proven science articles from creationists that do science?
Here's what I'm starting to think. I'm thinking that they outsourced this to like India or something. Like they
Yep.
definitely. I'm starting
Yeah.
to think they outsourced this to a non-English speaking person. Because these questions are strangely worded,
Yeah.
if they even make sense.
That's the other problem I have too, is that sometimes when I'm debating a Christian, I'll actually have to ask, like on Twitter, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll literally a couple times have to be like, is English not your first language? And they're like, yeah, I'm from Alabama. I'm like, God damn it.
So barely.
Yeah. I always found it ironic. Like, I think I might have used this before, but this is what I mean by it when I say I always find it ironic. The people who speak the worst English are the ones who want it as the first language.
Yeah.
You know, like, they will come over here not speaking the language. Neither do these fucking people. But,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway. Uh. Oh, yeah. Creation is doing science. Answers in Genesis.
Oh yeah, and it said they got proven articles.
Yeah. So I went to the website And there's no rule or law prohibiting like I want to put this out too. There's no rule or law prohibiting creationists from doing science. Again, we've been over this.
Mhm.
But I'm not going to give any credit to an organization when one of their first things on their website says about science is the Bible is the foundation for science. You've lost my credibility already. I'm not gonna believe anything you say after that.
Yeah. Pretty much the standard is if you want it to be accepted as a fact, it's got to be peer reviewed.
Right.
Like, I mean, that's how it goes.
To me, it's just
Yeah.
a hard sell to say it's the foundation of science. Well, in it, there's a woman's. It was made from a man's rib. There's a talking snake. The book itself was written by people who didn't know where the sun went at night.
Yeah.
So, like, how can you say it's the foundation of science when there's so much they didn't know about science when they wrote this?
Yeah, the talking snake I at least want to believe in.
I
Because that's
try
pretty
so
cool.
hard.
Yeah, that I would desperately want to believe in because that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. But, I definitely hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't give you credit when it's that fucking ridiculous. Do you have anything else you wanted to add to that one?
Honestly, I think they're winning the argument because it's like on Trailer Park Boys when like Ricky just gets over on people by basically confidently confusing them, and that's what they're doing.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if
That's
they
that's
haven't yet, here comes one that might. If evolution is true, all right, hold on. If it's true, then why can't white people compete to be good in basketball like black people? After all, white people can't jump.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's I have no argument to that.
no, and I think we and I discussed this before that if it's in the
Yeah,
movie of title, it must be scientifically true.
I agree.
So I think they stumped us on that one.
I think so. We're talking Wesley Snipes. We're talking Woody Harrelson together in a movie about basketball. Like it says it in the title. That is fact.
Yeah, I think he's got a good point.
Much in the way that this is no country for old men, and Batman did in fact begin. White men cannot jump.
Exactly.
It says it in the Bible.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that by the way, if you're listening, that question was definitely on there.
Yeah.
So.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not
know
making this up.
No, I don't know. We don't know how it got on there, but we reviewed that question very seriously.
Yes. And they stumped us.
Yeah, they're right. I cannot answer that.
Nope. Congratulations, you got one.
Yep.
All right, number 27. Where do you decide to fit God in your everyday life if you can't believe in Him?
I sewed a special pocket into my jacket. That's where I fit him. I assume they meant litter. I fit him.
It's actually kind of funny that you use the word jacket. Because I usually. This isn't going to be as funny as I thought it was going to be. Because I usually fit him in my life right after I jacket, too. So,
Nice.
Like, oh, God, it's everywhere. So, yeah. It's kind of weird that we both chose. Oh, man. Yeah, and we took that one very seriously, too.
Mhm.
All right. So, number 20. Fitting God in my life? Right after
Oh, wait a
jacket?
second.
Yeah.
And now that I think about that, how is that? That's a weird thing to ask. Like questions atheists can't answer. Like, where do you fit him in your life if you don't believe? Like, what are they trying to do with that question? That's
Yeah.
That's just, yeah, that's silly.
The only place I fit in my life is if I'm, someone asks me about it, because I do get questioned about it often. All my coworkers know I'm an atheist. They joke with me. I joke with them about their religion. Like we're really, really loose together. Like no one's going to be in trouble or anything. But we joke back and forth friendly. Um, but like they'll ask me questions about how I feel about things and like why I change my views. But I wouldn't like I wouldn't say I go out of my way to fit Jesus into my life. If like yeah, I don't know where they're trying to go with that either.
Yeah, yeah, that's odd.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was 27. Yeah, 28. Why is Christianity the fastest growing religion if it's false?
Um, I don't think it is actually. I'm pretty sure actually Islam is like globally the fastest growing religion.
That's what I was finding too.
Yeah, I'm almost certain of that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've read that multiple times.
Yeah. And like it's probably one of those other things that it's going to be really hard to even tell.
Yeah, yeah.
Like how do you measure how fast someone's belief is growing?
Yeah, that's true.
Like a mass number of people's beliefs are, you can say baseball is more popular than basketball because the numbers are up this year. Like, how
Hmm.
do you like? Oh, here comes down the stretch. Atheism comes, like down the stretch.
Yeah.
Here comes Judaism on the outside. It's growing almost as fast as Islam.
From half court Buddhism. And then there's like, a lot of countries that persecute either like minority religions or just religion in general, like, China or North Korea. So
Right,
it would be impossible to get actual numbers.
right, very
Like
true.
like here it's part of the census. So and even then, censuses are notoriously unreliable, so
Yeah, because I mean, like you and I'm obviously an atheist, but like, there's a lot of people I feel like are in a gray area who are like, they don't. I think Doug, I'm gonna be careful saying this. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to steal material because I think Doug Stanhope had a bit about it. But he's like, people who haven't been to church in like 10, 12 years, when they're asked what their religion is, like, well, my parents took me to a Methodist church, so I guess I'm Methodist. Like, no, you
yeah.
don't have to say that. If you don't believe, you don't believe. Just mark non-believer.
Oh, no, absolutely. I think a huge segment of the Christian population in this country is almost more like Republican, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
Like traditional, like it's more of a in the traditional sense they're Christian.
yeah,
Like maybe they'll go to church like once a year or something, or even maybe not. They'll just say that they're Christian and they believe in God, but they don't really have any fucking morals or
right.
any real belief system. But it's like, well, my parents have been Christian and their parents were, so I guess I am too.
Yeah,
That is a huge part of the Christian segment in this country, for sure.
yeah. So if you know anyone who's like that, smack them in the face and be like, no.
Yeah, just think for yourself,
Exactly. Um,
or just don't think. That's what I do.
yeah. Either turn it on or shut it off, but keep it out of neutral.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so that was number 28. 29. Do you feel free? Oh, this is a fucking A. This is going to be a good one. Do you feel free to commit murders, homosexuality, go to strip bars, steal, commit adultery, and do other sins since you believe there is no God? Yes.
Only homosexuality in strip bars.
Yeah. Homosexual strip bars?
No,
Okay.
homosexual acts and heterosexual strip bars.
Okay. Okay. I
Yeah.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I only those two things. The rest I find morally reprehensible, but those two.
Yeah.
That one is honestly my favorite question out of all.
Yeah. It's just a wide range, man. Like I've never even when like I've never wanted to kill someone. So like I'm trying to figure out like do you think because we don't believe there's a God that we want to kill people? Like we want to take their lives?
It's it's so absurd that people believe that.
Like but I wonder if they do.
I think so. I think a lot of people genuinely believe that. Sure.
So
Yeah.
do you think these people would kill if there wasn't a God? Or if
No,
they thought there wasn't one?
I think everybody, unless you're born feral, unless you're born and raised like feral, and like literally have never known any sort of society, I think if you were born and raised in like any sort of society, you probably like yeah, you probably don't have those urges.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've heard that before from other people. Like what part of your brain goes, yeah, this makes sense.
hmm And I have for sure heard that like people use that argument like earnestly of like, well, without religion, everyone would just be killing and raping each other and stealing, and it's like probably not.
Yeah, because we still have laws.
Because you know what? Even if like it's simply in people's best interest not to. Like it is just
Right.
even if it's purely out of greed. Like that's just enough of a motivation to not live like that.
Right, exactly.
Like just even if you just want to keep the things that you have, like that's enough not to like fuck other people over. And that works.
Right. Yeah, that's I've never understood those type of questions. Like, no. I've never wanted to do any of those things. I mean,
Like
well,
there were
I've never actually been to a strip club. True story. I've never been involved in a homosexual manner, but that's just because I'm not gay. Like, there's nothing wrong to me about that.
I've experimented 158 times.
Got a little marker going down, or
Yeah, it's
yeah,
well, I have a chart and I
okay,
just got about 940 some to go.
gotcha. When we start doing the show, like with video along with the audio, I'll have to show like have you have a teddy bear and show us where.
Yeah, and when I'm doing gay experiments, I always only wear a lab coat
Right.
because that's what it is. It's experimenting.
Exactly.
As long as you wear, actually, it's if you wear a lab coat, it's not gay.
Everyone knows that.
Just like if you kill somebody, you're not a murderer if you're wearing a lab coat. It's an experiment.
Right.
That's
And
why
it's just,
That's why Dr. Joseph Mengele was, as long as he was wearing his lab coat, I don't see the problem with it. What he
exactly.
did. And if Hitler would have worn a lab coat when he was giving his speeches and doing everything, it would have been fine. Would have been a social experiment, not genocide.
Exactly.
But he didn't wear his lab coat, so he was a horrible human being.
Yep. Yep, it's true.
Yeah, if Donald Trump was wearing a lab coat this entire
Oh, I'd be his biggest supporter.
me too.
Yep.
I'd be like, interesting, go on. But he's not doing that.
No one's doing that.
No.
Interesting. Go on.
Go on.
I barely got like a sip of coffee out of that one. That was close. Have anything else? No, not for that one. It's just a weird question to me.
Yeah, that's just such a funny question because it's just because I have heard that. I have heard people like ask that honestly. It's absurd.
I usually just go, it takes everything in me to not kill somebody right now. Then I walk away. Excuse me. All right. So, number 30. We're over halfway done now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 30. Why do the fossils say no to evolution?
They don't say anything. They don't talk.
I put down that it's obviously because they're part of Reagan's say no to evolution propaganda.
Yeah.
Obviously. I kind of feel like this person was an idiot for starting this list and then realized he was an even bigger idiot for like, I gotta finish it now. And I've run out of questions like 20 questions ago. I did a little research for this one, actually, for number 31. Why did Darwin admit that the eye... Oh, excuse me. Why did Darwin admit that how the eye formed is impossible?
Oh, wait a second. We could go back to 30 real quick. I was just taking a little hit. I think what they mean by that, why do the fossils say no, is because with like creationists and non-evolution believers, they always stress on the same dumb fucking thing, which is like, oh, missing links.
Yeah.
Because there's like just a few missing pieces of the puzzle, which is like pretty insane because they've been saying that for, like 100 or so years, and in that 100 or so years, there's been hundreds and thousands of pieces of other links, and just because you're missing a few pieces of a puzzle doesn't mean you can't see the picture.
Right, exactly. Like, there's no actual moment. Like, there is no missing link.
Yeah.
When it comes to, like, how evolution works. There's no moment where you're going to give birth to a non-human.
Yeah.
Like, eventually, in, like, another couple 100,000 years, we'll be different species than we are now. But there's not going to be a single time where a kid was not the same species as his parents.
Mm-hmm.
The change is so like minuscule that eventually we just go, oh, now they're Homo sapiens.
Yeah.
Like there's no. There it is. That's the Homo sapien.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's just yeah. More creation. Oh no, that's fine.
I'll edit it together. So.
Well, I was just thinking. I'm like, why am I being that quiet? Nobody has their windows down right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's 12. 12 degrees out.
Makes sense. I can see why everyone's done for the night.
Yeah, I'm just used to doing this and like
talking quietly.
Yeah, and like summer and when it was warmer.
You're golden now.
Yeah.
All right, so number 31. Why did Darwin admit that how the eye formed is impossible?
Yeah, this one I almost feel like I know what they're referencing, but I don't.
Okay, so Darwin in his book on evolution basically said that how the eye formed through natural selection is impossible, or should be impossible. But then later on, in the same chapter of the same book, he explains that, but that's the way it is. It doesn't make sense, but that's how it is.
Ah, right.
Like we haven't found why it went from A to B to C. But that's the way it is.
Yeah, of course,
So
yeah.
this question isn't even a question. Again,
Yeah.
you took it way out of context. You did half the work, and you're an idiot. Boom.
The one thing I definitely do know is like creationists they love picking apart and really just making shit up about Charles Darwin, which there one really big rumor is that like Charles Darwin recanted everything and converted to Christianity before he died. I've heard
Yeah,
I've heard that a lot, and that's like simply not true.
that was actually on this list earlier.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Because yeah, from everything I've read about him, including like I think like his nephew or like one of his kids or something, people who were there till his like final dying day, he was like a very serious scientist, and he never recanted anything, unless it was something that was like scientifically disproven, which
Right.
yeah,
They'll try to do the same shit with Hitchens too.
yeah. I mean,
Like,
really, yeah. Yeah, they'll do that with Neil deGrasse Tyson and
Oh yeah, Hawking.
Yeah, just the most outspoken.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll have a fucking field day with Bill Nye like 50 years from now.
I don't understand that. It's so weird to me.
Oh, that documentary that I've mentioned on this show is just so depressing. They fucking just love tearing apart Bill Nye. Yeah. No wonder he just seems kind of angry a lot of the time.
Oh, Bill. And that's going to do it for another episode of the Church of Atheism podcast. I want to say thank you once again to everybody for listening. I always get that mixed up. I want to thank everyone again for listening. Also want to thank Freethinker215, our first Patreon member to help support the show. If you want to help support the show, it's patreon.com/Church of Atheism. You can choose whatever denomination you want to, help us out with. You can do $1 a month, $5 a month, $1 million per month. It's up to you. But we really do appreciate the support from everybody. And again, a big shout out to Freethinker215. Thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you guys and gals next time.